Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up.
I remember hearing it. I'm like,
Ember.
Oh, Ember.
Miss Ember.
Oh, great Ember, tell me what I'm doing.
Appreciate you, Ember.
Love Ember. She's great.
Bottom of the barrel Ember bullshit.
Oh my God. Ember. Ember.
Ember.
Ember.
We love you, Ember.
You rock at that, Ember.
Ember is the queen.
We're neighbors, Ember.
I see you, Ember.
that, hey, Ember is hot.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday, probably. I'm having tremendous lag spikes, so if I freeze up periodically, that's why. The internet is really, really great for not this kind of thing. It does begin with a P, though, which is our topic of today. Pasta. Why is there pasta? Why is there pasta? It's not an inevitable thing. It's not like the wheel or fire, something that you have to invent to get civilization going. And yet every culture around the world seems to have it, kind of. So why is there pasta?
Because it's so damn good, it was an inevitability.
It was future predeterminate. It was a gift from the gods. Prometheus came down after the fire thing. Prometheus, like, beat up the fucking eagle and then came down again and was like, behold pasta.
Well, what I'm going to say is that a lot of times things are made by accident. Oops, I didn't mean to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they was like, well, I guess we got to eat it and see how it tastes. And then they do it. And then, oh, this ain't bad. I guess we're going to keep on doing this.
Proof of the flying spaghetti monster. What has God given us? What has Zeus given us? The flying spaghetti monster in his noodly goodness gave us fucking noodles. That's what.
Yes. That's more than what the other guy gave anybody.
I know. Fucking Yahweh's
yeah.
handing out sins. You will burn in hell, and you will burn in hell. Whereas the FSM is like, try some meatballs.
We got red sauce and white sauce.
And in fact, we are made in his image because we too have red sauce and white sauce.
Did you see Ryan's comment?
It was over in a flash.
Oh, that's why I love this show.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. This is, for those of you who are new, this is Learn Together Live. We do the show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, where we do what it says on the tin. We learn things together, live. Sometimes we have deep, profound questions like, what are the 5 arguments for God that made Thomas Aquinas so famous? Who was this guy? Why did everyone listen to him? That's coming up in I think, the Monday after this next one, because I just added it right to the end of the schedule. But today we're asking shower thoughts, like, why is there pasta? So if you're into learning random shit, which sometimes has great and profound meaning, and trust me, pasta has much more impact on our civilization than any God arguments, but we'll get to that. Join us, subscribe, hit the buttons. Hit all the buttons, in fact. I've been informed by reliable sources that hitting both the like and the subscribe and leaving a comment maximizes your potential impact in the algorithm. Tell that robot what to do. I fucked up that delivery, but it's okay. Live broadcasting, folks. Okay.
I'm
so we
wondering
have
why that was subscribed and liked already, though.
Hell yeah. In fact, we already have. It's well, I'm gonna screw up myself because it's like, it's not a comment after the fact, which is what the algorithm looks for, but it is a chat comment that it's y'all are so busy this morning it completely got off my screen. I appreciate the activity though. Don't let me stop you. I'm just saying this is why it slipped my mind. Before we even started, Lilibel Trades dropping a super chat for $5. Thank you, Lil. Saying, a small offering since my family ate all the garlic bread last night. Oh,
I have some. Do you want some of mine? I
Yes,
bought some.
please. I went to go get some this morning, and my son's like, "Oh, we ate it all last night." They didn't even call me for dinner. I didn't even know there was dinner.
that's rude. Like that's sacrilege. In fact, I'm gonna switch to angry divinity background, or maybe let's like burn them in the pits of magma, or we could just do hellfire. You know, whatever you think. Actually, I do have a new background.
I am Lilith, so
It's
kind of my
true.
home
It's true.
turf.
So, as many of you know, I also do a bonus show when I have both time and availability to do one called Transfactual, about trans and intersex people like me. And the normal background for that show is this. It's this wonderful rainbow stream going by. But I had an idea inspired by the work on the pride flag. As you may recall, I reconstructed NASA's pride flag after the new administration made NASA delete it, and I upgraded it to its modern setting. You can find both a free version you can put on your phone's lock screen or whatever, and also a print and flag version on the website betterthanember.com, among other things. But thinking about this and thinking about how I like moving backgrounds, I was like, what if I made a moving space background for Transfactual? And so now I've got this. Now this is
I like that.
Form, but you know what? I'll take us off screen for a second so y'all can see clearly.
Okay. Then it was me.
I don't know why it reversed your order reversed when I was taking everyone off, and so whatever. Anyway, it's
Well, Kelly
pretty.
deserves to be at the top, so
The motion isn't quite the way I want it, but in any case, let me know what you think. And also subscribe, because that show happens randomly, so make sure you ring the bell, because it's when I have both the time and the ability, which they don't always line up. Some days I'm like raring to go, but I have a lot of medical problems, folks, and sometimes they're like, nope, you're not getting on camera right now. So, yeah, I think slower is probably the way to go, because it should move, but it should move like stars move, not like starships move,
Mhm.
I'll work on it some more. But we have a lot of things in progress, and that brings me to today's notes, because we do have things in progress. For instance, Friday evening, we're having a fundraiser right here, so make sure you're subscribed. AJ and I have been gathering our friends and other people. That didn't come out quite like I was imagining it. Anyway, our friend Helen also having medical issues, big expensive medical issues, and both her and her husband have been out of work for different reasons, but she's looking at 5-figure medical bills and 0 income, and that is an extremely scary place to be. Ask me how I know. So we're going to do a fundraiser about it. So we have gathered the posse, if you will, and that's going to be starting Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have it's not going to be a giant panel. People are going to come on in groups so they can actually talk to each other. And also that's for the guests too, so they don't have to stay for the entire show. It's just AJ and I who have to slog the whole thing out. But that's okay. We can handle it. We've done long shows before. In fact, we've done much longer shows. If you've been here for a while, once upon a time I did a 12-hour stream with no breaks. That's an awful idea. Don't ever do that. At least record some breaks, like put on a music or a past video, something, so you can go get some water, because water, friends, is very, very, very important. Hey folks, I've been working hard on my health, and so far I've lost over 140 pounds. A huge part of good health is hydration. That's why I'm thrilled to partner with Epic Water Filters. Check this out. Not only can you say goodbye to expensive bottled water, but these filters are made in the US, so no tariffs, and they're made to fit your life. From these lovely pitchers I can fill from, to sink units, to portable filters that fit in your reusable bottle. With Epic, I can refill from nature's water sources and not have to worry about bacteria and whatnot. But also, send back a used filter to be responsibly recycled, and they'll send you a free replacement, saving you and the earth even more. Want to save a ton of money, be healthier, and build a better world? Head to epicwaterfilters.com and enter code EMBER15 at checkout for 15% off. Don't settle for random water. Upgrade to Epic. Well, that
I didn't
didn't
die
even
this
end where it was
time.
supposed to end. Maybe it's my leg. I don't know.
I hate
I
that.
didn't die this time.
I just say because of my job, I'm not able to really participate anything after 3 o'clock, and that's where all the fun stuff happens at night. But
I know it's rude. I want to schedule stuff at more times. I want to do random 1 a.m. shows. I want to
do
random
that because
midday shows.
I do 2 a.m. shows. I'll be off. If somebody want to do that with me, hey, I'm more than willing. But who's gonna watch it? I don't know. But I know.
Well, there's a shit ton of people looking for stuff to watch in the middle of the night because all the Americans have gotten sleepy. Anyhow, before we move off of that topic, Friday fundraiser, I'm going to drop the link in chat. Please spread the word. Join us, of course, but also spread the word, because YouTube is not going to help. We're the only ones who can tell other people this is even happening. So post about it on every fucking social. Put it everywhere you can. I realize a lot of you may not even know who Helen is, but this is one way we can help a member of our community who's in really deep shit. And this is what we do. We try to make things better where we can, and it's a free thing that everyone can do. So please do.
And she's always looking out for everybody else.
Yeah, she is. She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's a lot of fun too.
She really is. I hung out with her on the back cruise. We had tons of fun.
I'm so jealous of that back cruise. I wanted to go so bad.
Yeah. It's always next year. I don't know if I'm going. I don't know. Some things that I want to do. Hopefully I can do everything that I want to do.
Yeah, there's like 2 things this year that I really want to do, and I have a couple other things that I want to do if I am at all able to. So we will see.
There's a couple of people I want. I mean, a couple of things. A couple of places I want to do. Never mind. Friend of the community, John Gleason, and his woman Casey are putting together a brand new event called Rocket City Reason. That's in October. That could be. I have no idea. I've been pestering John for details. I know he's done a few shows about it, but like, I have questions that aren't getting answered elsewhere, possibly because I'm an event organizer myself.
Okay.
And so I look at things from a different perspective than the average event goer. But whatever. I'm hoping to do a thing with him. In fact, I want to do promo for more live events this past year, because while live events have their pluses and minuses, and a lot of us can't get to a lot of them, like me, travel is very, very difficult. It's extremely painful. So basically, I have to be there for some reason, sort of thing. At least as things stand right now. Maybe eventually I'll get the fucking surgery I need and I'll be able to drive again. But I digress. The point is, I only went to one thing last year. It was the Ark Encounter protest.
Yeah.
And even just that one event, I met a bunch of cool people that I knew from online in person, which is great and worth doing in and of itself. But I also met new people like Kelly. Now, Kelly had been active online before, but we didn't have any idea who each other were until Landisa was like, hey, y'all should meet each other.
Everything I did was locally in my community. I was not an online person.
Oh, I thought you were working with some of the
I worked
online,
with the Mandisa backstage in her show, but I had not been an online persona. Everything I did was in person. But yeah. I'm here now.
Fuck yeah.
And I know you
in
now.
person stuff. Obviously, we didn't successfully shut down the Ark or even get the state of Kentucky to pull taxpayer funding from this religious indoctrination mill. But we did make connections. We networked. I hate the phrase networking because it makes it seem so corporate when it's really a human thing,
Yeah.
Still, it's cool shit. And if you can do it, it's definitely worth doing. Now, I also, weirdly, tangents upon tangents. And if you're down for tangents, we have some merch for that. You can do. We have a merch. Like, not only do we have an emoji, we have a merch. Now, once again, I don't make anything off that shirt. That is set at production cost. It's just so that we could have something that poor people like me can. Actually, I can't even afford that. But never mind. But if you want to support the channel and get something to show for it, we have other things available in the merch store. Some of them there's no profit on. For example, this shirt, all the proceeds go to the Trevor Project because I want to fundraise, I want to help, I want to make a difference in the community, and that one makes a big difference to me.
Yeah.
And then we also have a coffee mug, which I don't have an overlay for. I only have an ad for, but it's a quick ad. So hold please. Hey, want to do something good? Recently, a person who had sent me this version of my logo, unsolicited, made public statements promoting violence against minority women and survivors of abuse. Now that person's gift will do some good instead. 100% of the proceeds from sales of this survivor's mug will go to fund the nonprofit organization RAIN in their efforts to provide vital resources to survivors and to build a future where fewer of us need this kind of help. Find this item at my store at betterthanember.com. And if you want to learn more about how you can be better at supporting survivors, check out this video, where I've distilled the best practices for helping survivors that I collected from speaking with actual crisis professionals at RAIN, Willow Grove, Vera House, and independent counselors. Whenever you can turn the harmful acts of others into something good, that is an epic win. I realize the phrase epic win has come to be a little bit cringe recently. Thanks, Elon. But I mean, the fact my partner semi-sponsor thing is called Epic Water Filters. I felt it was appropriate to put epic in there somewhere. I'm a silly bean. Anyway, proceeds from that mug go to support Rain. Proceeds from the Protect Joy shirt go to support the Trevor Project. And I want to do real fundraisers too. Like fundraisers like right on stream, like big channels do. And there's a reason only big channels do it. It's because YouTube hides the button that lets you do that behind the 10,000 subscriber milestone, which means we need to get to the 10,000 subscriber milestone so I can do real fundraisers. Please help with that too.
Yes.
Push the button yourself. It's free. It's completely harmless. And consider sharing this sort of stuff with people who might like it, so we could get more subscribers,
But
so we
who don't
can
like
do
pasta?
real fundraisers where 50% of what people put in doesn't go to manufacturing costs. It can of course you can always just donate directly to the charities yourself, but I want to do real fundraisers, so please help with that. There's lots of ways you can please help. So yes. All right, pasta. Before we get too freaking further off track, before we get into it, what are yours thoughts? Why am I mirrored? This is driving me nuts. Anyway, what are your thoughts on pastas?
It's delicious.
I love it.
It's different, and it's funny. Like it's all kind of made the same way, but because of its shape differently, somehow it tastes different.
Yeah,
That's weird.
Really weird?
Like spaghetti noodles taste different than Alfredo noodles, but it's made the same way. It's just thicker.
Well, there are differences, and we will get into some of that. Like I used to ask my grandmother, like, what's the differences between the pastas? And she was like, well, it's all the same stuff. It's just put through different machines to make it different shapes. That's not actually true. I mean, I knew it wasn't true back then because macaroni tastes different from spaghetti, but also there's green pasta noodles, right? Like, I'm like, how do you get an entirely different color if it's made from the same stuff? Because it isn't. The recipes are different. It's a combination of what you put into the dough to make them, as well as shape, because different properties make different shapes work better or worse, and so it's way more complicated than you might think. So there's a lot.
But then you do like the Polish nogis; those have a potato in it, but that's still the kind of
a potato is usually done as a workaround for celiac disease, gluten intolerance, because wheat is what we use for most breads, and it is a bread product. I found out. In fact, I'm spoiling my intro thing, so I should just read the damn intro. I went and prepared an intro. I should read the damn thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
What is pasta? Praise the flying spaghetti monster, and it isn't just noodles. In fact, some pastas aren't noodly at all, and some noodles aren't pasta. So what makes a thing pasta? Like, what is a woman? There is more than one definition, and which is correct depends on what you're talking about. Some people offer that pasta means Italian food, which is why the Chinese noodle doesn't qualify, even though it came first. Pasta, after all, takes its name from the Italian word for paste. However, the distinctive tomato paste that makes spaghetti more than just a noodle didn't exist until after the Italians got their hands on tomatoes, since those are Western Hemisphere fruit. Also, tomato paste isn't the only thing that can go on noodles and have it still count as proper pasta. Fettuccine Alfredo, for example. The fettuccine is a kind of noodle, and the Alfredo is a cheese sauce. I cheat and use linguine in my Alfredo dishes because it cooks faster and mixes more easily with other ingredients. Don't tell my kids. But I digress. It's not the noodle, nor even just one type of noodle. And it isn't the sauce, or even just one type of sauce. It isn't mixing the noodles and sauce together to make a meal that doesn't require other components either, as the Chinese, Arabs, Egyptians, Greeks, and even the English were doing that before the Italians got around to it. So what is pasta? What is the quintessential something that makes a food a pasta dish instead of some generic noodle-based meal? if you've learned anything from me these last 6 months of doing these shows every weekday, you're probably shouting at your screen that there probably isn't one single thing. So let's take a sciencey approach and see if we can trace the evolution of today's continental culinary collections to sort this tangle out. Spaghetti, of course, is a crop that must be harvested.
Most important of all, it's resulted in an exceptionally heavy spaghetti crop. The last 2 weeks of March are an anxious time for the spaghetti farmer. There's always the chance of a late frost, which, while not entirely ruining the crop, generally impairs the flavor and makes it difficult for him to obtain top prices in world markets. But now these dangers are over, and the spaghetti harvest goes forward. Spaghetti cultivation here in Switzerland is not, of course, carried out on anything like the tremendous scale of the Italian industry. Many of you, I'm sure, will have seen pictures of the vast spaghetti plantations in the Po Valley. For the Swiss, however, it tends to be more of a family affair. Another reason why this may be a bumper year lies...
Okay, I can't play much of that because even though it's old enough to be
Awesome.
public domain...
Yeah, I've seen it. That was awesome. Although I do have
my research, and I'm like, I
do
have to include it. It's too funny.
I do have to say, currently, I kind of have a specific penchant for ramen because I'm knitting a ramen blanket for someone. They said they want a ramen blanket, so I said, okay.
Noodly goodness. Oh, wow.
Oh, that sounds cool. Ooh.
It's going to be awesome.
Obviously, that was an April Fool's prank the BBC pulled in 1957, which is why it's public domain, because it's so fucking old. But even though public domain stuff gets claims these days anyway, because whatever. Nonetheless, we press on.
Sugar.
So sometime before 6000 BCE, humans
She
figured
was
out...
hollering.
What's that?
She was
Sugar.
hollering. She wanted to come in.
Oh, Sugar wants to say hello.
Yes.
We need some... You can put sugar on your pasta. Did you know? My grandma used to make spaghetti sauce with sugar in it.
Oh, I did. Just a little bit. Just a little pinch of sugar.
Yeah.
Just a little one.
My son is here, but why she want to be with me? I don't know.
Mark says we're almost old enough to be public. Mark, I kind of already am public domain.
I am public domain. Damn.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
oh my goodness.
Kip Academy is available to anybody. So,
That's true.
it's all
We
public
can,
domain.
we can all learn as soon as I find the button for it.
Meet Kip, named after a biblical scholar, holds 0 degrees, yet remains deeply authoritative. At Kip Academy, she teaches advanced disciplines like ethical trait distribution, comparative couch theology, and vigorous face licking. Questioning authority is encouraged. Not all treats are created equal. Each snack undergoes rigorous evaluation using the sniff, lick, and stare methodology. Some are rejected, some are accepted, some are declared non-canonical. Ask Kip about theology, ask Kip about life, ask Kip if you should go outside. She will not answer, but she will judge you. Kip, named for a scholar, correct about vibes.
All right. I'm multitasking behind the scenes, of course. Oh my goodness.
Of course.
My goodness. All right. So for anybody wondering what the hell I was up to, I'm refilling this thing, but also I'm replying to Deviant because she just said she can join us for next week's show about the Amarna letters. And so I was sending her the link for that show so I don't forget to do it. And then the day of, she's like, where the fuck is my link, Ember? Yeah, Amarna letters coming up.
Deviant. You know why I'm saying that for, Deviant. We got to talk.
When Kelly's like, Deviant, We need to have a talk.
We need to have a talk.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put soot on you. I'm gonna stick soot on you.
I know. We're so intimidating up in here. We're like, let's talk about pasta and
She's
make
like, I know.
Here.
She's like, I know. Hi.
Oh my goodness.
You got to get down. I can hold you the whole time, baby.
Is, we don't hate you. We're just not unsauced.
Of course you can hold her the whole time. That's what dogs are for. Dogs decide when they get off your lap, not you. Of course, that's coming from me with 3 big dogs, so if they decide to sit on me, there's nothing I can do about it.
And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, IRL Kip is even bigger than on video. And of course, you know, the video depends on the size of your screen. Like if you're watching on a phone, on video Kip is very small, but like compared to the scale of the Kip in the video, real dog-shaped Kip is much bigger.
You can see times when like she's jumped up here and her head is like this big. Her head is huge. She's giant. And she's chewing on something.
She is. And paste can refer to the pasta dough, not just tomato paste. Did you finish your intro? I did not finish my intro, but I believe you're probably correct on that one. I'm only about halfway through. We paused at the end of the BBC video for shenanigans, as we often do here, which is one of the fun bits
Tangents.
of doing these live, because y'all come up with such wonderful commentary. Pasta pasties. Actually, you could have a big old meatball right over, and then the droobly noodles. Oh, that actually would be erotic, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's a possibility.
I go to a lot of burlesque shows, and I've been people be having cool pasties. I'll say that.
Pasty fairyism. Oh, y'all are gonna make me show my boobies on. Oh, it's too late. Here it is.
Boobies. I
This
love
is
that.
entirely Lil's fault. I will have you know.
Yes, it is. It is. I couldn't resist. I do want to get the 2 little they have 2 little plushies of the bird's tits, and so I want to get 2 of them. That way I can have a nice pair of tits.
It's good advice. I mean, you could get like the actual birds. It is legal to have those. You know what? I'm not going to give you that idea.
I could, but between them chirping and my dogs barking, it would just never end.
Yes.
No, have you seen? Okay, so Sidney Davis Jr., wonderful, delightful person, brilliant, whip smart mind, like oh my goodness. Debate, counter-apologetics, funny stories, cult upbringing. She's the whole fucking package. And she also comes with a bunch of parrots. And when the parrots happen to be in her room while she's streaming, she can't get a word in.
And fun fact, her dog is named Noodle.
Oh,
hell yeah! I haven't had a chat with her in a couple of years at this point. We were hoping she could join the fundraiser, but the timing just doesn't work out. So I'll have to catch her another time, because it has been a minute. I was on an episode of Growing Up Fundy when the episodes were still in like the low double digits. So it's been a minute. Oh goodness. All right. Anyway, I digress. Tangents, which as you may be aware are also where the fuck? Right, we did that. I made that joke already. Never mind.
Pixie.
Okay, get your garlic bread ready, which is also a t-shirt.
It always goes good with pasta.
Oh my goodness, it does. Every time I make spaghetti and meatballs, I make garlic bread for my son because like garlic bread is the best thing ever. All right, nonetheless, we press on. So sometime before 6000 BCE, humans figured out that wheat and similar grains can be crushed between very hard things, and the powder can be made into edible things. That process went through its own evolution, leading us to one of the wonders of the modern world, garlic bread. But that's a story for another time. All we need for today is the flour, that very useful powder you get from the crushing process. If you mix the flour with water or with eggs, you can make dough, and the ratio of fluid to flour will give the dough different properties, and whether you dry it or bake it can change those properties. And that's your basic unleavened bread, because that's what it is. It's unleavened bread. Sure, you can add other stuff to make different kinds of bread, but that's all you need to get noodles. Unleavened bread that gets prepared in a certain way, stretched, squished, and cut into bits, or left as a sheet if you're thinking lasagna. If you dry it, it'll keep for a good long time, nearly forever. If you prepare it fresh, you don't even have to boil it first. But that isn't pasta, as we've said before. Noodles are to pasta like leavened bread is to sandwiches. You kind of need it, but that isn't enough on its own. From noodles existing to pasta appearing is a bit of a story. So for this part, we have a video to help us out.
Ooh. It's not AI. Is it?
If you can boil water.
No.
Tarrant County. That's in my neck of the woods, sort of.
Sort of. Yeah, I appreciate that this creator cites their sources on things. In fact, give me just a second here, and I will shrinky us down. This is Weird History Food, and they're a very, very large channel. But yeah, pasta and things. But I do appreciate they cite their sources even for video clips, which is cool.
Water, you can make pasta, and that's just one of the many reasons it is ranked among the most popular foods in the world for thousands of years. But where did it all start? When did the first human being sing "Pass the Pasta" to their friends and neighbors? The answer is a little more.
Is that a song? Is pass the pasta a song?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I never heard of that either.
Huh. It's all good. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. Y'all are skipping to my end. Curses. It's all good.
More complicated than you may expect. So today we're
weird colored noodles. Like this is a colorization filter, but like that previous thing. Get back there. Get back there. Green noodles.
Spinach noodles.
I've seen them before. I know a couple of different ways to make them, but like they blew my mind when I was fucking. I was a little. I'm like, why is noodles in weird colors? My grandmother sometimes. We ate a lot of pasta because again, very poor my whole life. Sometimes she'd go to like make something, but they didn't have the noodle she wanted, so she'd end up with this bag of weird noodles that were like spirals, but they were like cylinder spirals rather than sideways spirals. But whatever.
Oh yeah,
I know I do that with like my zucchini or squash. If I was trying to be like low carb, and I would do that for noodles, and then like spirally.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other thing. You can use spaghetti squash to make like noodles directly out of eggplant. You can do that. Some eggplants you can do that too. Also. You make veggie noodles, but that's an entirely different thing. They just happen to look and function sort of like noodles.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, the noodles my grandmother would get would be they'd be like regular egg noodle color, and then there'd be like reddish ones and greenish ones, and I'm like, why so many colors, and why do they all taste different from each other? And she's like, you can't taste the difference, and I'm like, yes, I can, because you can, because there's different ingredients in each one.
I did see those, but I don't think I ever used any of those before.
We're twirling up the history of pasta. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel. After that,
and you know, subscribe there because they make good stuff, but also subscribe here. I know I said it already, but it bears repeating. In fact, we have a button for that too.
It's okay. You can touch it. You can touch it if you want to. I won't tell anybody. I won't hurt you.
Hello.
You know, I think we may be having a more erotic episode than yesterday's episode, which was intentionally erotic.
Oh my god.
It's something about food. It brings something out on you.
Okay. Aunt Jur says, a short musical piece or children's song, often featuring pasta percussion, which is shaking pasta boxes, is also recognized as a 2-verse rhythmic spoken or sung, and there's more, but it hasn't popped up yet. Meanwhile, Right-Handed Sith says, according to the Google, Pass the Pasta is a song, most notably a short 33-second track by Global Village Players from the 2015 album Little Italy, A Musical Taste of Rome. It is also recognized as a tongue twister sung activity composed by Donna Rodenizer, used for vocal warm-ups, and in other instances, a theme song for music classroom percussion. Cool. I've never heard that one as okay. Everybody seems to have a different tradition of vocal warm-ups, right? Like, you know, if you're singing, you're supposed to do your scales. If you're about to be on a broadcast, you want to get your enunciation and your diction very precise. So you'll do mouth exercises like unique New York and red leather, yellow leather. You know, that's to get your tongue like in shape. Before.
Yeah.
I haven't heard Pass the Pasta though. That's maybe I just live in the wrong part of the country. It's fine. Aunt Jer continues. Tongue twister composed by Donna Rodenizer to help with pronunciation. Musical version 33-second song titled Pass the Pasta was released in 2015 by the Global Village Players. Educational context. They used it. See, the red leather fucked up my tongue. It is used in music education as a performance piece incorporating rhythm and props. Other references. It is from the 1982 song Pass the Duchy. Okay. That's that pass the Duchy to the left-hand side, Rasta-ish. Right, because it's Rasta, so it's pasta. Okay, very clever, very clever.
Don't make me fall aside. That's what I was thinking.
I should have known better. I thought Americans would never turn that into a children's song, but they're Americans, so of course they immediately turned it into a children's song.
Please leave a comment and let us know what other staple foods you would like to hear about. Okay, that pot is never going to boil if you...
That's what I was doing. I was outside
laughing. Mark says, okay, so that is an entirely different vocal exercise. And how dare you call me out for not doing my voice training? For anybody who doesn't know, that's like a cliche thing for trans girls who are trying to like train their voice to sound correct and help with voice dysphoria. Is you're supposed to just say heat from fire, fire from heat over and over and over until your voice like it's a feedback loop thing, right? Like you make the noise and then your ears hear and then you like feedback like no, tighter, higher, whatever it needs to do. It takes for fucking ever. I mean, literally ever. Like the voice coaches who do, the people who've done the training so successfully, they now coach other people. It took them 1 to 2 years for their voice to reach where they want it to be. And that's knowing what they're doing because they're the experts. It takes a while. I find slightly better results if you sing it because then you get more of the resonance and intonation. And it goes a lot faster. Not that I'm one to talk because my voice is fucking shit, but I understand the theory.
My question is, what if you are Texan and don't pronounce far right?
Far?
Far?
Fire with fire.
I'm Texan. I can't help it. There's certain words that comes out. Fire is one of them. Fire. There we go. Fire.
We don't want her to start.
Propane accessories. We're going to allow fire. Oh my goodness. Sapphire says, with all the sexy food talk, you'd think Ember was an ace. Who's to say, really? You know, I mean, I can't. It's not like we have emojis that are literally garlic bread but are labeled as ace in the text form of the emoji or any. No. No idea what y'all are talking about. Nope.
None.
Jason says, I spent half my life in Texas, half near Boston, and I can say that there is no correct way to pronounce fa.
In my neck of the woods,
You're gonna go far, kid. You're gonna go far in the car.
There's actually a joke referring around to how Texans say far here. It goes around. Everybody has heard it at some point, and it digs on Texas A&M Aggies, which I love. Hook 'em horns.
Yeah. So if you wanted to say there is a far fire, how would you say that?
Far.
I love it.
I couldn't say it better myself.
Far.
Nobody clip that. That would be rude.
AJ's here.
Keep watching it. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, pasta is any of several starchy food preparations made from semolina, the granular product obtained from the endosperm of a type of wheat called durum. But for the
Now, that's one definition. Like I said in my intro, there are many definitions. However, there are a group of purists who say that you can't get your flour from just any old wheat. It has to be from this specific subtype of wheat called durum, which is only grown in like 8% of Italy. Well, 8% of their wheat production. 92% of their wheat production is just general purpose wheat. This special wheat is only 8%. But because Italy is Italy, they go through a lot of pasta. And in fact, they export a lot of pasta, which means they need to import a lot of wheat that isn't the correct wheat to make the pasta so they can export it. And it's such a huge industry worldwide that their factories, to save time, they've exported the factories. For instance, think about this. If you want to make pasta for the northeastern United States to sell in supermarkets and make it look like it's a universal product, fair enough. Do you import the wheat from the US to Italy, make the pasta in Italy, and then export the pasta back to the US? Or do you just open a factory in the US and make the pasta there using your brand techniques and so forth? And that's what they do. Obviously, that's what they do. And I've been to a Barilla factory. It's pretty neat. It doesn't smell as garlicky as you might expect. I've been to spice factories too, but there was a red-tailed hawk trapped inside one, apparently living off the pasta, even though they're carnivore. I don't know. Maybe he was eating the mice who were trying to eat the pasta, but they had one. It was anyway. Pasta factories, yes, they're out of all the food factories, probably the cleanest. It's wild how nasty food factories can get. Like you would expect, you're the places the food is made to be spotlessly clean, but they tend to be like the grodiest factories you've ever fucking seen. Not pasta though, a little dusty, as you can imagine why, but not nasty. So yeah.
Those of you who prefer a definition that doesn't include the word sperm, pasta is food made from sheets of unleavened wheat dough cut into any number of shapes. Sometimes
she's going through this really fast. It is unleavened bread. So, if you want to keep the real 10 commandments, just have pasta once a week. And, what is it? The real 7th commandment or something? Honor always the feast of unleavened bread. Like maybe that's what the Bible is talking about, is pasta, because they did have a kind of not technically pasta, but still pasta in the Levant in the 1st century. But when the 10 commandments were written down, that was before then. So never mind. I retract my previous statement.
On Little Shrek ones. That dough, at its most basic, is made from water and semolina flour, although eggs are often added to the mixture to enhance the color and richness. Similarly, juices from vegetables like tomatoes.
Some people argue that it isn't pasta if there aren't eggs in it. Like
those are poison.
Pasta, what's that?
Those are poison to me, anyways.
Oh, tomatoes? Yes.
Poison.
I used to have something of an allergy. I don't know. They made my stomach very upset. Now I can eat them, but the texture is so weird.
Like, that's how it started with me, and this started years ago. About 3 or 4 years ago, I was to the point that I could take like one bite of salsa and be okay, but any more than that. Last time I took one bite of salsa, immediately broke out in hives. Immediately.
Yeah, I have an aunt that can't eat tomatoes either. She like it just she just itches so bad. But I think even the sauce is okay, but raw tomatoes.
I do miss salsa though. I like salsa.
I'm not a huge fan of salsa, but I do make a random party dish it's super easy to make. It's called roadkill. It's you take one whole block of Velveeta. I know, ghetto food, but like white ghetto. But you take a whole block of Velveeta and throw it into a crock pot. And then you take a whole pound of ground beef and you lightly brown it so it's like cooked, but not like overdone. And you throw that into the crock pot. And then you take like a whole jar of medium salsa and you dump that whole thing into the crock pot and you let it melt and you mix and you just leave it on the heat and it just, you can dip things in it. I recommend broccoli.
Except we do that, except we do sausage.
Ooh.
And it's good. And now we just leave the tomatoes.
I mean, I think we all have done that. I do that too. But yeah, just for the salsa. Now I like the Rotel cheese. That's good. The Rotel. I use that too. But yeah. Okay, enough about that. All right. I'm getting hungry now. And this ain't helping.
I did warn everybody over on the damn stream to bring snacks. And then I didn't bring a snack myself because I'm bad at my job, but it's fine. AJ's like, stop the tomato hate. I was thinking, I'm like, maybe I could get my oldest to come back on. My oldest hasn't been on my show since like the very first trans right show I did. Because when they were in high school, they helped found a Pride Club chapter in a very red area. And I'm like, let's talk about it. Let's show other people how to do that in their areas, you know? And so they were down for that. But mostly they're too busy with real life and science and dating because they are an actual working scientist, which is cool as fuck.
Oh,
but
that's awesome.
But yeah, they've been busy. But to defend tomatoes, they might come back on because ever since they were little, like couldn't get enough pickles and tomatoes. You could give them nothing but pickles and tomatoes, and they were set.
AJ, I don't hate tomatoes. I am deathly allergic to them. There is a difference. I hate them out of necessity.
Yeah, I don't hate them. I have some trouble. I'm still processing. My system is probably still changing, like the rest of me. But whatever. If they're processed enough, like if they're a ragu sauce, like if it's just like diced tomatoes with juice, no. But if it's like processed into a marinara kind of thing, then when it goes through enough processes, then it's fine. In fact, it's quite delightful. But that's just me. Maybe I'm too European because they are South American fruit. But on the other hand, I'm half Irish and therefore half potato, and the potato is also South American.
Yeah.
Details.
Those carrots and spinach can also be mixed in to affect the color and taste. Broadly speaking, pasta is divided into two categories, dry and fresh.
Oh, I forgot about the black pasta. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
how do you eat the black pasta? What's in that?
Squidding.
Squidding. I had some and then I looked
You're
up.
shitting me.
No.
Yeah. Yes, she's right.
No, yeah, it's squidding. I know. I cook with it on occasion.
Yeah.
And no, it doesn't taste
wild.
Fishy. Yeah.
Why? What? How? Did they try to like make a seafood pasta and the squids?
No, it's just the color.
Yet?
It's just the color. The squidding is used a lot in some Spanish cooking, and it just kind of made its way over, and you got black pasta. And no, it doesn't taste fishy.
Well, I don't want to kind of TMI, but it makes your, green looking like lime greenish.
Yeah, the green is kind of cool. Like, it depends on how it's made. Sometimes it's made with like lettuce juice. Sometimes it's made with cabbage juice. Sometimes it's made with spinach. The spinach one is really nice. The lettuce one doesn't really change the flavor much. Cabbage, it tastes like cabbage. Ugh.
I like cabbage.
I know, I'm half Irish and I'm
I
not
like
a fan of cabbage. I'm half
man.
Irish. I took the potatoes and not the cabbage.
I did.
Cabbage is delicious.
And this,
Give me some Brussels
this
sprouts.
was this was years ago. I did chicken Alfredo for a Valentine's Day dinner, but I did the black noodles and then the Alfredo sauce I dyed red, so it was red and black. It was cute. Also, the Barilla, the pasta company, just came out with heart-shaped pasta in time for Valentine's Day. I just saw that this morning.
They do love the shapes. It's amazing. Okay, so squid ink, apparently, it adds a distinct savory and slightly briny flavor to the pasta. That people describe as earthy or ocean-like essence, which are things that I would not describe as synonyms, but okay. It offers a rich umami taste, enhancing seafood dishes with subtle saltiness rather than an overwhelming fishy odor. Often described as silky, adding depth as well as the striking black color. So I may try that the next time I make a seafood dish, because here's the thing I've noticed about a lot of seafood pasta dishes, like the mix that goes into tuna noodle casserole, for example. It's better if you add salt. But if the black pasta is already a little bit saltier, it might be better. And as you know, all of us humanists, we need to be saltier. We really do. I enjoy the fact that we're also warm and welcoming and cheerful, and cheerful is great, and all the things, but like, we need to be saltier. We have to be more aggressive at the people who are trying to make our lives and everyone else's lives objectively worse.
I'm a mermaid, so I'm automatically salty.
Don't worry about me. Don't let the smiling face fool you.
It's true. It's true. Women are multidimensional creatures. We have teeth, sometimes in surprising places.
Sometimes.
Dry pasta is the stuff you get in boxes at the grocery store. Fresh pasta.
Barilla. That's the I know some people pronounce it barilla, but whatever. That's the factory that I used to go to a lot for 2 different trucking companies, in fact.
Pasta is traditionally made from fresh ingredients by hand or with simple machines. These days, you can find manufactured, pre-packaged, fresh pasta at the supermarket, and that's progress. Pasta can be boiled or baked, and traditional Italian cooking divides pasta recipes into 3 distinct categories. Pasta asciutta, which is pasta served on its own with a sauce, pasta in brodo, which is pasta cooked into a soup, and pasta al forno, in which the pasta is part of a larger dish that is then baked in an oven. Italian pasta.
Now, of course, there's other possibilities. You could have pasta that isn't just pasta and sauce, but isn't in a soup or baked in an oven. But that's not like the pasta becomes an ingredient for another thing, technically speaking.
Pasta is similar to Chinese noodles.
So from a certain point of view, German stroganoff is pasta with extras.
But while many use the words pasta and noodles interchangeably, they're not actually the same thing. Asian noodles, for one thing, are made from a much wider variety of ingredients and are subject to a different stretching process. They're also
That's true. Rice noodles are great. Lo mein noodles, bean noodles. Bean noodles are so good. Anyway, but yeah, you can make them out of a whole lot more than just wheat. Although they can make them out of wheat too.
Older, like by a lot. Pasta is a food prepared using a specific process. It doesn't grow out of the ground or fall from trees, which means someone had to.
Despite our earlier video to the contrary.
The BBC lied to us? What?
The flying spaghetti monster dropped it down from the heavens.
I know. But what she's getting at is that there's nothing inevitable about the invention of pasta. Just like sausages. Like, it didn't have to exist, but once it did, the utility became so incredibly obvious, everyone wanted in on it.
Thank you, sausage gods.
It really, like, I'm super interested in, like, I know the hypothesis on how it all came out, but like, I want to know, like, how exactly did people figure out how to do like bread and pasta? Like, how exactly did we figure that out? Like,
I reckon there was a phase in human development where people realized, probably shortly after the development of formal cooking, like instead of just putting food next to the fire, you would actually deliberately cook it on the fire. And they figured out some techniques are better than others. That started humans on the hunt for ingredients. This is when we tried the berries to find which berries are good, when we started like taking notes on which veggies and which plants have good roots to eat, and whether like tubers like potatoes, pre-potatoes, shall we say. Some of them are technically edible, but they're only really edible when you cook them. So we're going through this experimental phase, and inevitably in the preparation of ingredients, somebody started smashing things between rocks to see what happens, to see if it makes it more edible, and eventually discovered grinding. And then once we started grinding things, we started seeing what things work really good when you grind them. And we just tried everything in this phase of development. And it, you know, people came across wheat and they were like, oh, these seeds are awful fucking tiny, but maybe we can grind them and make something useful. And
yeah, maybe.
Once you have, I can imagine whole generations of people with just bags full of powder and just like eating the powder randomly for like extra food. And somebody's like, why don't we like try to make a paste out of that, something you can carry around? And behold, poof, it's bread. And they're like, holy shit, this is handy. In fact, you can use the bread to hold other things. Like, we can stack technology on top of technology. Yes, it all goes back to sandwiches. Have you ever had a spaghetti sandwich? Take two pieces. You can do it with regular, but garlic bread is, of course, superior. Take garlic bread, spaghetti with the sauce, more garlic bread. One of our best inventions. It's that, and salami is going to be what saves our asses when aliens show up, because those things are not inevitable. The aliens, their light speed drive, their warp drive, their hyperdrive, whatever the fuck they have, that's dependent on the laws of physics. There's only so many ways that can be done. But salami, but garlic bread, those are unique to Earth. So that's the technology that we're going to trade to the aliens for their warp drives.
To invent it. Unfortunately, nobody in history was named Mikey Pasta, so tracking down its creator isn't that simple.
We don't know that. In fact, there might be. Let's look. Oh, let's see. Michael's of Brooklyn is a renowned Brooklyn-based institution established in 1964, famous for its jarred and restaurant-served authentic Italian pasta sauces like marinara and tomato basil and dishes. They offer high-quality, non-GMO, gluten-free sauces featuring simple ingredients. Other entities include House of Pasta in Massachusetts, and that's not what I was looking for. Let me try with quotation marks. Michael Pasta worked at Home Depot, went to High Point High School, lives in Denton, Maryland, and married. So there is, in fact, a Mikey Pasta. Clearing up misconceptions here on LTL.
The first difficulty in tracing pasta's lineage is that pasta dough is made from some fairly ubiquitous ingredients that have all been well known for centuries. Consequently, some pasta recipes are nearly impossible to differentiate from other ancient dishes that use the same ingredients. Also,
that's an excellent point. Like that ancient Levantine dish that I mentioned, the first century pastaoid, technically not a pasta, but it's a pasta that they had in Jesus's time. Well, I think it was the 3rd century through the 5th century, but whatever, somewhere around there. Anyway, It's made identically to a different pasta that comes from Italy with the same ingredients and the same proportions through the same processes, but it's a different dish. Like, how do you tell it apart, though?
Italian word pasta simply means paste, and it could be used interchangeably to refer to other types of dough, which isn't making things any easier. Another problem.
So that's sort of the key issue, is the word just means paste, right? But once a name gets associated with a thing, it doesn't necessarily retain its original meaning. You know, like there's a lot of things that have what sounds like a proper name, but is actually just an older word for a different thing that got associated with it. I'm trying, shoot, there's so many examples, but I'm drawing a blank on them at the moment. But there's a bunch in the English language where the name of the thing was actually like the bowl the thing came in, or it came from like a certain topping that you would traditionally put on the thing. You know, it's not the thing itself, but the name got to be associated. I'm explaining this badly, but maybe it'll come to me later.
Is that the history of pasta isn't nearly as well documented as you'd think, considering how it's one of the most popular foods ever. That's partly due to how long ago.
Well, we don't know who invented bread either. Like, we expect ancient shit is nobody wrote down the name of the person. Possibly they didn't even have writing at the time. We don't know.
Though it was invented, but it's also because pasta has long been seen as a sort of peasant food, or food of the common people, and therefore not worth.
Well, that depends on culture and time. When Italy first got their hands on it, it was like the nobles who wanted it, and that's one of the reasons it took off, is the common people wanted it, and then local producers figured out how to make fuck tons of it easily, and suddenly it became available to the poor people. It became so affordable that, like bread, it became a staple of poor people cuisine. And then the rich people didn't want it anymore. They're like, well, now that the poors have it.
That's the way it always goes. I mean, there were times through history where, like, butter was really hard to get, so that was like the rich people food, and then everybody had cows, so everybody could have butter, and then the rich people were like, we don't want butter anymore.
Margarine for me.
I'm trying to find an example of things whose names. Oh God, fucking hell! Cardigans are an example, sort of like that. Like it's a style of sweater, but it's not really like, I don't know. That's not the best example, because it was James Brunel, the 7th Earl of Cardigan, who wore that kind of sweater, and so it became associated with him. Oh, fucking hell. There's so many examples and none of them are coming to me. Fuck.
Sandwich? There was the Earl of Sandwich, and then
it's
there
just
was the
named for the inventor. I'm talking like things like, for example, say pasta turned out to be like the paste the dough is made from, or it turned out to be the sauce. Like, say it's a specific kind of sauce. For example, this is just hypothetical. The noodles get their name from the sauce, or the dish they're served on, the kind of platter, the plate, a pasta plate, like a salad bowl, right? Like, salad is the thing that goes in the bowl. That's what makes it a salad bowl. But if it went the other way, if the particular kind of bowl was the best way to serve salad, and that's, in fact, I'm not entirely sure that's not how that worked.
There's sushi. Sushi was named for the rice. It's the rice that it's served on. It's not the fish.
Okay, that's a better one. Yeah. It's like, it's still the thing, but like it's not the part of the thing that people think, and the name came to be associated with the whole thing rather than the component that's actually being directly referred to. Oh, goodness. Purple says, come on, Ember, use your noodle. Listen, I can't do that on screen. It's not prohibited by
I don't think she means a noodle.
I don't know that would help anyway, Purple.
writing about. Aw, not even mac and cheese? Bunch of ancient jerks. What we do know suggests that Italian pasta is probably a descendant of Asian noodles. The earliest evidence for noodles comes from China, and archaeologists believe a simple variety made from rice or wheat flour at least as far back as the Shang dynasty, which lasted from 1700 to 1100 BCE. One popular
That's twice as far back in history as the Jesus man. That's like ancient. And you know, Deviant, if you have a colleague who knows about Chinese history the way you know about Egyptian history, I would love to talk to that person, because China.
I do, actually.
Oh, cool. Please find them for me. Because
I'm a historian. I know people. Like, yeah.
I'm trying to find somebody about the Nigerian history and stuff like that, but I couldn't find it.
So fascinating to me, these cultures that persist across several empires and governments and nations and whatnot, but also because it's such a vast span of time, there's so many significant changes. And the way not only all the cool shit they invented and came up with, and their cultural practices and traditions, and what persists and what got discontinued, and all the things, but also the divergent lines of progress, and despite that, the convergent evolution of their technological structures. How both independently developed calendars and clocks, for instance. It's so neat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a nerd, I know.
One super cool thing is everybody always thinks, like, there's this thing that's been going around forever about Marco Polo, like Marco Polo brought pasta back. If you read what he actually wrote, he said something like, oh, they have noodles like we do. So they already had pasta over in Italy at the time.
I've seen through my research for this episode that there's archaeological pasta. Like when I said dried pasta can last basically forever, they found pasta, well, noodles, in Etruscan tombs from the 4th century BCE.
Mm-hmm.
So they had something noodle-like. They may have lost the technology through all the different waves of conquest, but at some point they did have it in the distant past.
Popular legend holds that Chinese noodles were introduced to Italy in the 13th century by Marco Polo, the guy who invented that game kids love to play in swimming pools. But while noodles did become popular in various parts of Italy around that time, there's no evidence Polo was the guy responsible. In fact, there are clear historical references to pasta in Italy prior to his trip. Also, an Olive Garden receipt was discovered in his belongings. So when
I appreciate that they clarified that Marco Polo's association is just mythological, but then to immediately discredit it by saying he had an Olive Garden receipt, like, oh, so they're joking and I can't take anything they just said seriously. I love the random jokes, but like, the timing could use some work, perhaps.
When did Westerners start eating noodles? Well, Italians like to believe they invented noodles themselves, and some claim that the Etruscans were eating them as early as the
4th century BCE. I've heard a lot of teachers say that the Italians didn't invent the noodles. They're the ones who added the sauce, which is not entirely true either. But that coincides with this concept of pasta meaning paste, meaning it's the sauce. The noodles are to give the sauce substance so you can just eat the sauce. Or alternately, the sauce makes the noodles edible because otherwise it's just hard, thin bread that's been boiled. And it's not great.
century BCE, which is a possibility. North Africans started eating the vaguely similar couscous around that same time. But most experts...
Couscous
is awesome.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever had couscous. I just know there's a meme about it from that one Disney movie that came out between the time I was young enough to watch Disney movies and my kids existed.
Oh, you're talking about Ratatouille, right? What you said it on there?
No, it was.
I don't even know how to spell couscous. Oh, okay. It's spelled a couple different ways. Let's see. What is couscous? It's a North African dish of tiny steamed granules of durum wheat, so it's technically pasta, often mistaken for a grain, but actually a type of pasta. It is a type of pasta that cooks quickly by rehydrating in hot liquid. Oh, It's yeah, you boil it too. It serves as a versatile base for both meat and veggie dishes, absorbing flavors from stews, roasted vegetables, and herbs, and can be served hot as a side or cold in salads. And it looks vaguely rice-like, but also kind of like little mini. Everybody's seen the type. We've probably had it in soups, and I didn't even know. It looks like the little micropasta slivers of spaghetti that sometimes wind up in soups. But this is like, it's the main part of the dish. That's interesting. I'll have to deliberately try it on purpose sometime, because it looks like it could be neat. Like you can. There's potential there. I could see like shrimps and scallops poking out of that thing. That could work really well.
Yeah.
I may have a slight affinity for seafood.
I'm like you.
We made Lil leave. She's like, I need a snack. Damn it.
Yeah, I need one too. I'm about to have to go on my leaving up about 10 minutes to go get ready for my stream.
Yes. You've got Felicia by Nature on at 1 p.m. Eastern. Yes.
Yes.
I remembered things.
You use your noodles sometimes.
Sometimes I'm not entirely bad at my job. Oh my goodness. Oh. Am I?
Shit.
This is frustrating. For some reason, my camera is mirrored in StreamYard, but what's going out on the actual stream is not mirrored. So I'm like spending the whole stream like looking in the wrong direction. It's why? You know what?
I'm trying to see my phone right now.
Let me see here. Camera. I'll unmirror it. It may or may not reverse for you guys, but I'll unmirror it in the software, and then I will go into my actual camera is through OBS. It's one of the reasons I have the cool purple outline, but I can also do stuff like boop. Oh, I've been raptured. Because it's an OBS. But if I can find my actual camera, where, damn it, I have too many things in this fucking screen. All right, now I can. I have a thing turned on, but I don't know how it's mirrored. Well, it's actually upside down, but I don't know how to upside down it. Because I did it years ago and I needed the thing mirror. Okay, duh. Flip vertically, apply, and now I can flip See, my background is this. You probably can't even see it. It's fine. I have that space background behind me too, in case my camera goes off, like so.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that way I don't have to turn my camera off in streaming software like so. I can just turn my camera off and it's a placeholder. But anyway, in theory, that should fix the problem. Maybe. Who knows?
I'm gonna probably leave in a few minutes because Sugar is summoning me to let her go outside.
Oh goodness.
Sugar.
Jason says lay on your side and the left-right thing becomes up-down. That's true.
Hypotheses, because the first totally unambiguous Western reference to noodle consumption wasn't recorded until the 5th century CE, and that's in the Jerusalem Talmud. The reference is to a food called atrion, also known as atrium in Etruria. It was water and flour pounded into dough and cut into strips, possibly created by air.
Sounds like the same formula to me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, John's got to go back to capitalism. That's we're sad to hear it.
Oh, what his name that was? Okay, yeah, okay. I was like, who is that?
I know people like to change their name and try to mess with us, but we can figure out who you are. Usually, we can do a Sherlock. Oh goodness, I think I've already done all the capitalism for this show. So instead, let's do. We even did Kip Academy already. I don't know.
Yeah, we did.
The apologist supercut doesn't really fit, but we could do conspiracy.
That's what happens when capitalism goes wrong. Very
What was
wrong.
one video we did?
All right, we'll do conspiracies.
Are you feeling the world is leaving you behind? Do you look at all the pseudoscience, rumors, and wild speculation on the internet and wonder, why can't I do that? Well, friend, you can. We can help you. We are ConspiraWin. ConspiraWin has a long history of helping anyone with a hidden truth. We will get your message out. The conspiracy theories you see today all started out with one person's vision. The moon landing hoax was launched by a NASA engineer whose manager didn't okay his vacation request. ConspiraWin was there to help out. Christianity started out because one little girl named Mary got pregnant out of wedlock, and ConspiraWin saved the day. Now, the virgin birth is accepted Catholic doctrine. You may be thinking, but my idea of the center of the earth being made of ice is far-fetched. No one's going to believe that. In a world where people believe windmills cause cancer, we say no dream is too big. ConspiraWin will take your fledgling idea and feed it to our YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok operatives. And these savvy social media professionals will raise doubts with the prevailing scientific consensus. They will say, no one has ever seen the planet's core except Jesus. And science is wrong all the time. That's why science has theories and not Jesus. Within 30 days, we guarantee you CNN will run a story on how your conspiracy theory isn't true. We will also give you 100% assurance Fox News will say your crazy idea about the Earth's core being an icy ball is true. Follow your heart. Listen to the voices no one else can hear. Team up with ConspiraWin.
Da, da, da. All right, Jason had a good idea too. Plug the Friday fundraiser, because there are a lot of people here who were not here at the beginning. And thank you all so much for joining us. What he's talking about is we're doing a Friday. We're doing a fundraiser on Friday to help our friend Helen, who's been dealing with medical issues, and it's expensive, it's painful. We're trying to help. We're doing a fundraiser about it. So join us Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to go a while because we have a whole bunch of cool people to go through. I didn't even say who's coming when I mentioned it before. So congrats to those of you who stuck around from the beginning. You get the guest list. Of course, AJ and I are hosting. We still have a couple maybes that have yet to get back to us. But we've got Richard Gulliver, Glenda Jordan, Dr. Kip Davis, potentially Dr. Josh. I'm pretty sure Dr. Josh will be on with Dr. Kip because they come as a pair often. But in any case, Dr. Ben, Mark Reed, Bree from Hive Psi, David Fitzgerald, Cynthia McDonald, Mandisa Thomas, Punk Apostate, Brentley, Eli Slack, and Steve. I can't pronounce your last name correctly, so I'll say Jacadis. I'm probably pretty close. And like I said, there may be other people as well. Please, please, please tell your friends. Spread the word. I'll put the link in the chat again, because while we do want to see all of you folks there, you telling other people is the only way other people are going to find out, because the algorithm sure as hell is not helping. So please spread the word and help us do the fundraiser thing for our good friend Helen. And oh shit. Oh, the link is pinned at the top of the chat. I've copied and pasted too many things, and so I've lost track of it. All right, now I have it again. Okay, here it is. So yeah, please go to that link, click notify me, open it in a new tab. Don't close this stream, but click notify me, and then put it on all your socials, all the socials, even the Twitters. Let the Nazis come and donate to Helen if they want to. We will send
donate. Why not?
Even if it comes from Elon. It's sort of a shit thing, right? Like, Elon could spend 1% of his personal fortune, what you or I would spend on groceries for a day, and he could pay everyone's medical bills in the entire US for the entire year, even at the ridiculously inflated rates we pay here in the US. If I were Elon, and I wanted people to think of me as some fucking superhero, that might be a good place to start. He could also end world hunger with a fraction of his fortune. With an even smaller fraction of his fortune, he could end homelessness. Because here's a fun fact. There are plenty of houses. It's not that there's a shortage of houses. It's that we have houses sitting empty because they're all bought up by one asshole who's renting them out. And he'd rather see some houses sit empty and get thousands of dollars for a one-bedroom apartment than let people live there and collect money from everyone. It's fucking awful. Mark says this Fridays and members only. It is not. It is very public. At least it's supposed to be very public. If it's not showing up for you, let me know, because that means there's something very wrong. Of course, I can see it, but it's my channel, so I can see all the things. So that's not helpful. Let me see. Helping Helen. Let me check the editing information. It should be public.
Yeah, it is for me, so.
Yeah. Yep. So there's that. Okay.
Although I do have to say, with Dr. Kip and Dr. Josh always being in the same place, I have somehow or another promised that my next dog will be named Dr. Josh. So we'll see how that goes when that happens.
So then you have a bit of a problem. Either you get a male dog named Dr. Josh, and then you run the risk of dog-shaped Kip and Josh becoming an item, or you get a female dog and name her Dr. Josh, and then we end up referring to not the human-shaped Kip and Josh and the dog-shaped Kip and Josh, but the male Kip and Josh and the female Kip and Josh.
Well, Kip already has found her girlfriend with Daisy, so that's the way dog-shaped Kip swings. So
Tommy has an important question.
ladies,
He asks,
apparently.
will the dog have a bow tie?
Yes, I will make sure of that. Kip's collar has skulls and stuff on it. It's like blue and purple and has skulls on it. It's really cute. I figure Kip would approve, so.
You showed us in a previous stream, which, long-term viewers will recall, and newer viewers. First of all, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoy. But sometimes we reference older lore, but the good news is it's all rewatchable. All of it. You can go back and watch any episode you want to in this entire... We've been doing this for 6 months now. Well, 6 months on Friday. And there's a lot of episodes. But you'll be here for new lore as it drops. For instance, just the other day, I started showing my boobie on camera. I just pull it out randomly and grab it and fondle it right on camera for all the world to see, because it's irresistible. It's so soft and squishy.
I am so proud of that.
And it's entirely Lil's fault.
Yes. I will take the blame for that one gladly.
Oh, check this out too. The legs have like metal bits in them. The blue feet actually have support, which means it is a perky boobie.
That's awesome.
It stands up on its own.
That's awesome.
The jokes just never end with these plushies. I love it.
No, they don't.
Arab travelers as a way of preserving food on long journeys, Itrian was known throughout the Mediterranean. Those Arabs might have gained knowledge of noodle making from further east, but no one knows for sure. In any case, Itrian was most likely how Italians first caught on to the whole noodle thing. The first actual reference to noodle production in Italy doesn't actually come until the 12th century, when an Arab geographer reported seeing noodles being made in Sicily to serve as part of a soup. Pasta's original role seems to have been as an extender in soups and desserts, but the Italians would eventually find more uses for it, and while they can't claim to have invented pasta, they are likely the first people who ate it on its own in a bowl with some sauce. So the bottom line is, given the simplicity of the ingredients...
Pasta. It's making me hungry. It's making me
It depends on what you mean by sauce. That's not actually true. I'm having a bit of an issue and I'm cleaning up. The English put cheese sauce on well, not proper noodles, but like something sort of like shells, like a couple hundred years before the Italians even started putting. The Italians, olive oil has been their thing since the days of fucking Rome, but they didn't even put olive oil on the noodles until after they got the idea from other cultures doing something similar.
Yeah.
So like it's, I mean, no shade, because like all the best shit is a synthesis of other people's shit. Like, yes, it's wonderful. The person who came up with the recipe for the first noodle, it's a hell of a process. It's fucking wonderful, and that deserves credit. But the noodle by itself isn't nearly as good as spaghetti and meatballs. And for that, you need the New World tomato. You need the process of making the marinara sauce. You need the meatball recipe. You need all these other things. And you put them together and you get, this is what I'm always talking about, synthesis, right? Because things are more than the sum of their parts. There's emergent properties that appear when you put things together, and it makes them greater than both are separately.
Chicken Alfredo.
Like garlic bread. Garlic is fine. Butter is good. Bread is pretty good. But together,
Oh my God.
amazing.
And put some
Emergent
cheese on top of
properties.
that. Oh, cheesy garlic bread is like, give me cheesy garlic bread any day of the week. I'll just eat that.
Sapphire says Americans elevated the pizza. In fact, there's a lot of people who debate over who has the real pizza. Ask Cynthia McDonald about real pizza sometime. She has opinions.
The funny thing about pizza, the pizza debate in America, it's all like who has the best pizza. Texas doesn't really have a pizza. We like them all. We're just like, just give us pizza. Pizza in general is fine with us.
Well, I mean, there's a few different kinds, right? Like there's authentic Italian pizza, which isn't actually pizza. There's places in the US that say they sell authentic Italian pizza, but if it's not made with goat cheese, it's not authentic Italian pizza. Mozzarella is a substitute because goat cheese was expensive, and Italian immigrants, like many of us descended from Irish immigrants, were very poor. So they needed a cheaper cheese, and mozzarella was plentiful and abundant, and it worked.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, like you could do cottage cheese, but it's just not that. Don't make a pizza with cottage cheese, please. Oh my goodness. No, you wanted a cheese that gets melty and stretchy. I mean, arguably provolone is a better choice, but it's more expensive than mozzarella. So for mass production, you want mozzarella. So yeah, the replacement of goat cheese with mozzarella is a New York thing. But for the most part, the hand-tossed tradition is the same as in Italy. In Chicago, they made the deep dish. In Detroit, they did the reverse. They made it completely fucking flat. And then not in Hawaii, but marketed as if it were from Hawaii, somebody started putting pineapple. It's like, it's not a Hawaiian pizza. It's a regular pizza with pineapple and ham, but whatever. Yeah. It's marketing.
Would Hawaiian be pineapple and spam though, if it was actually Hawaiian? Because they do a lot of spam.
That may be more authentic to modern Hawaiian culture. It's true. They fucking love spam in Hawaii, and I don't know why.
I don't either. I don't know. Like, my family does this weird, like, spam sandwich thing, and they're all like, hey, we made you some. I'm like, I do not eat that. Sorry, no. Not doing that.
Oh, my goodness.
By the way, Jason, yes, Texas does have the best brisket. We have that on lock. I'm sorry. Texas does brisket better than anybody else.
All right. What the fuck is a brisket? Because people say that term and they tend to mean different things by it. Like some people mean a cut of meat. Some people mean a cooking process.
It's a cut of beef that is usually super, super tough. So you have to cook it really low and really slow. And it gets super tender and it's so good.
Okay.
But it's usually
I know Jewish people sometimes get really persnickety about brisket because apparently, I don't know if it's originally a Jewish thing, but like it's something that you can make for Passover. And so, again, I'm speaking outside of my wheelhouse. I know some Jewish people, but like ask Vishanti about briskets, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's been a Texas thing for years. That I mean, we do a lot of beef here. So like we do a lot of like pork barbecue, but we do a lot of beef barbecue. Like beef is king here, easily.
Barbecue is another fun one because, like, oh my goodness. So barbecue, this one I do know the history of. We could probably do a whole show on this. Barbecue comes from the barbicans, which were the cooking device you'd put over the fire to cook long pork on in the Caribbean. And long pork, of course, like Soylent Green, is people. So basically, you made human bacon. That was the original barbecue. So proper barbecue is both a Caribbean food and for health reasons should be pork. Like you can barbecue beef, as in you can cook it in that particular kind of grill that people associate with barbecue. But to be proper barbecue, it has to be pork. And also cooked in that special kind of grill.
Yeah, like brisket is usually smoked. So, but it's all kind of under the umbrella of barbecue here. So,
yeah. Oh yes, the barbican is a medieval defense thing. Yes, the the crenellations along a castle walls, if I remember correctly. I may be mistaken, but yeah, the cannibalism actually has been very common across human history in many cultures for many reasons. Sometimes it's religious, sometimes it's intimidation, sometimes it's just shortage of food. But yeah, the next time somebody tries to make an objective morality argument that all humans seem to have broadly the same moral values, remind them of how many cultures have had cannibalism over the millennia.
Yeah, there was. That's how we basically found out about how mad cow disease was spread, is because they were studying a tribe in Papua New Guinea that practiced funerary cannibalism, and they figured out, oh, holy crap, it's the same thing. So yeah, cannibalism is not very healthy in general.
I mean, so there's pluses and minuses. I mean, it is of course proof of the fall. Clearly. But like, so nutrients, we eat food to gain nutrients. Everything we eat, we can use some stuff, but not other stuff. That's one of the reasons we poop, is there's parts that we can't use, so our digestion just passes them right through. The more of a thing that you can use, the more efficient that food is, and theoretically the better it tastes, because taste is just chemical responses to the quality and quantity of the nutrients you're receiving through your food. So the more of a nutrient you need is in a food, the better it'll taste. For example, if you're low on vitamin C, then a source of vitamin C will probably taste better than when your vitamin C is at a good level, right? So the more of it you can use, the better it tastes. Certain meats taste better than others because they're closer to our own cellular makeup, and so we can make use of more of the proteins and more of the lipids and more of the other components. And so they taste better because they're more useful. Out of all of the possible foods, the one food that we can use 100% of the biomolecules we absorb in food is human. So in theory, human is the most nutritious food and should taste the best of all meats. But you're also susceptible. The closer it gets to you, the more likely a disease will be able to make the jump into you. And if you're eating human, the chances of the disease being able to infect you, whatever diseases they may have, is also 100%. So really, the only safe way to eat human is to cook the ever-loving shit out of it and make sure it's completely fucking sterilized.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. Even then, with that's one that they found out with the infectious agent that was giving people like the brain disease and stuff. You can't sterilize it. It's you can't do it.
Right, because a prion. What causes that is a prion, and that's a misfolded protein. And what it does is it wanders around between your various cells and things, and every protein of the same kind that it originally was that it encounters, it will bump against and cause it to misfold. Like old telephone cords, how if you got like one loop reversed, it fucked up the whole wire and it would spread across the wire. Same thing. If a misfolded protein gets loose in your system, it will misfold other proteins. And because it's already a deformed protein, cooking can't fix that. Because that's what cooking does, is denature proteins.
The hilarious thing is I have a really long list of topics that I wanted to use for my crafting and topic videos, of which I've only done 2 because I've been too busy doing lives. But prions were on that. That's one of those like deep dives that I did years ago. And so it's been like intensely interesting, and I keep up on the medical literature and stuff on it. It's one of those weird little niche things. I'm just like, this is super interesting. And it's so morbid, but what can I say?
I know. I have to agree with Jason. Like, I'm not a big fan of morals in principle because it's against my principles. But
yeah, that's what that'd be like. No.
I'm just not eating people. Like,
no.
Nope. I just, it's one, like being an apologist, even though I know all the apologetics arguments and I can make them better than any apologist I've ever met, including William Lane Craig. I just can't be an apologist because my fucking values won't let me. I just couldn't live with myself if I did. Even though I am literally starving and running out of medicine, I cannot do the thing I know would make money because of my fucking values. So I guess I'm going to die for what I believe in, but that's neither here nor there. Even though I say eat the rich, I don't think I could even bring myself to eat Elon. Like, first of all, I don't know what diseases he has, but also like I just can't do it.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. Like, it's one of those things that I always have problems like explaining this to members of my family who are not like this, but I'm like, no, it's like an academic curiosity that I have on like prions and all that stuff. It's not like, no, I don't want to eat people. I just find it kind of interesting that as an academic like thought exercise on how people get to that point and stuff.
Yeah, it's
what
now
thing.
That said, in a starvation situation like that, you know, plane crash in the Andes Mountains and it's either eat people or die, I may eat my own leg because if it's my meat, then I'm weirdly okay with it. It grosses me the fuck out to lose my leg, but I mean, the prospect of eating ember meat it's weird, but it doesn't affect me the same way, you know? Because it's like, it's to keep of course, I'm aware that we're like right on the verge of being able to regrow whole limbs because we can regrow almost any organ between our ability to cause cells to revert to a stem cell state and using lattices. Like it's not perfect yet, but we're getting much better at complex organs, and limbs are simpler than complex organs. They're complicated systems of multiple pieces, but they're simpler than complex. Now, if we could just grow the Republicans some brains, then we'd be in much better shape as a society. But whatever.
but wouldn't eating ember meat just make you lose nutrients in the process? Because the thing is when you're in certain states of starvation, like your body just cannibalizes itself. So would that be more efficient than just eating your leg?
Well, that's the thing, is when you're in a starvation state, your body does eat your own matter, but that's global. By cannibalizing your own meat, it's true you lose some of the caloric efficiency because you have to redigest your own material, but you're controlling what source that material is taken from. Whereas when it's just starvation, it'll take it from your brain and your heart and parts you kind of need to keep living. Whereas if it's your leg, you can technically survive without your leg.
True. Yeah.
For example. Okay. So you lose efficiency, but you control the source.
Yeah, that might be a good trade-off.
for a minute. And then
How do we get
when
on
you
this?
go back to starving, there's less of you that requires nutrients. So it makes it buys you more time.
How do we get on this?
This is the beauty. Like, we could do these as pre-produced videos. We could record, let's learn about a topic. Only on live shows do you get these wildly unpredictable subtopics. All the tangents.
Cannibal math. Wow. That's a new one, actually.
Purple says you are what you eat. Cannibalism is when you eat what you are. And auto-cannibalism. Oh my goodness. Okay, that reminds me of an extremely bad joke from like the 1980s or something. It was when the gay rights movement was first starting to gather steam, but Reagan was still pumping the line that gay people aren't human and therefore we should celebrate their deaths as AIDS plague wipes them out, even though everyone was catching AIDS and we were just making whatever. It's not important. Anyway, the joke was, the definition of courage is two homosexual cannibals having oral sex. Are you going to eat that? Never mind. Like I said, it's from the 80s and therefore a very bad joke. Anyway, pasta. We're doing stuff on pasta.
And the recipe, it's highly likely that noodles arose independently in various places at various times as a result of good old parallel thinking and the broader exchange of ideas. Sort of like that year when we got 2 asteroid movies, or the year we got 2 Hercules movies. This is all to say that it's likely no single...
Well, okay. Those were weird, but those aren't cases of parallel development, right? Like 4 people inventing the telephone at the same time is parallel development, because it seems like as soon as the conditions are right, we have all the requisite technologies to make a thing, humans just make the thing, right? Like microscopes, all these things, just bloop, it appears all at once because the pieces are in place for it to happen. Pasta seems to be a similar thing. Every time a culture reaches the stage where they have the ability to grind stuff and cook stuff, they immediately make flat bread, and then somebody cuts it into little pieces. It's just what humans do.
Culture invented pasta. But if you want to know who did it first, the historical evidence points to China. Sorry, Mikey Pasta. So
you give them the boot because Italy's shaped like a boot. It's very funny.
if pasta actually has a rich multicultural history, why is it so heavily...
Oh, but I was saying about the doubling thing, the asteroid movies. That was just plagiarism. That was just one studio got wind another studio was doing a thing and was like, we should do that thing. Also, not necessarily better, but also. This happens in television too. Like, I know Chris has recently talked about how Deep Space Nine and Babylon 5 only have coincidental similarities, but and that's true to some extent. Even though every space show up until then had been about spaceships traveling to new worlds, suddenly at about the same time we got shows about space stations that don't go to new worlds, parked next to magic tunnels through space that are critically important to the whole future of the galaxy. Purely coincidence. Even though it is beyond dispute that the creator of Babylon 5 pitched Babylon 5 to Paramount, they said no, and then immediately started development of their own space station next to a magical portal show. It's parallel development, though. There was no plagiarism involved. No.
Associated with Italy. Well, thanks to its versatility, its affordability, and its long shelf life, pasta slowly became a staple of Italian culture after that surge of popularity in the 13th century. And like the rest of Italian culture,
well, it's not really a surge of popularity because there have always been poor people, right? Like, there's so many pasta dishes and so many flavors and so many formats. You can make it a fancy person food, but it's available to poor people. And there have always been poor people. So since the 13th century, because of that surge in popularity and the different ways to make it, it's a thing you can make and serve the same day. It's not like a super complicated process. It's work, but it's doable. It's a thing poor people can do. You only have to buy flour and maybe eggs, and you can make your own pasta. So it's a thing poor people can do. And so poor people did it. It's never like unsurged. It just keeps getting more popular.
It flourished during the Renaissance. The Italian climate was also ideal for growing vegetables and a wide variety of herbs, which lent itself.
And of course, spaghetti. You got to have the spaghetti harvest. That's from the beginning of the show. Those of you joining us partway through, go back, start at the beginning. There's a great joke.
Spaghetti harvest.
There's lots. Well, let's not kid anybody. There's lots of great jokes all the way through every one of these episodes, which is why everyone should subscribe.
To the development of a wide variety of pasta dishes and sauces, including tomato sauce, which is now considered the standard. Pasta became increasingly associated with...
Well, that's a subjective statement. Well, it's true, spaghetti is by far the most common. That's because it's also super easy. There's a machine reason for that too. In the 1970s, somebody came up with a easily marketable, mass-producible extruder. So you could make pasta dough, put it in this machine, and it just squeezed it like a Play-Doh extruder. Bloop, spaghetti noodles. And you just cut the noodles to length and you're done. It's super easy. And so it became even more accessible, and thus became everyone grew up with spaghetti because everyone's mother or grandmother had that machine. And so when people want to like have nostalgia, they think pasta, they think spaghetti. And so spaghetti became the most popular. And spaghetti is usually served with spaghetti sauce. But you don't have to. There's no law. You can put it in Alfredo. Trust me, everything is good in Alfredo.
Yes.
Anyway, but you can put it in whatever sauce you want. It doesn't have to be spaghetti sauce. You can also put spaghetti sauce on other things. What the fuck do you think pizza sauce is? It's just a slightly different marinara.
Yep.
Italy throughout Europe, and it would be Spanish settlers who would first bring it to the New World. Thomas Jefferson, who turns out was a real guy and not just a character in Hamilton, would become...
Who would have guessed?
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a couple hundred more years, there's going to be assholes possibly like me running around going, you can't prove George Washington was real. In fact, there's contemporary accounts that are definitely mythological, like skipping a stone across the Potomac. We know that is physically impossible. And the other stories, like, I cannot tell a lie, 'twas I who cut down the cherry tree. First of all, he's a politician. He's definitely lying. We put that story out to be like he was so honest, but he was definitely covering for his friend, you know? But also, like, it's so mythological. So knowing that all of our sources for George Washington being real contain myth in them, I realize, United States wouldn't exist without him. Cool. Lots of things have mythological founders. Sure, he's on the dollar bill. Jesus is on every church, and he's a fucking myth. Like, you could already, just a couple hundred years on, make a mythicist argument for George Washington. Now, to be fair, it's not a convincing mythicist argument, but you can make the argument.
I do have a cool fact about George Washington, though. One of my family members, like way the hell back, because my aunt traced it all back, crossed the Delaware with Washington.
That's really far back. I can only go back to like the 1840s on the longest branch of my tree that I can reach. And that's only because that ancestor was really well known. And so his doings and descendants were well documented by historians. So yeah, that one's more traceable. But that's a whole other thing. I don't know. All right, folks, I realize lots and lots of tangents. People come here for the tangents, let's be honest. And also the food, and also the vaguely pornographic adjacent humor. Let's call it sex positivity. Because asexual people can be sex positive, damn it. We can do that. We can do both. It's fine. And then I'm going to have some garlic bread in just a few minutes. But our friend Kelly is going to be starting her show in a few minutes. this stream will automatically take you over there. So I just want to give you a heads up. That's going to happen in a couple of minutes.
Do not miss it. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Felicia by nature is a really, really cool person that I'm excited to learn more about, because I've seen her around and I have a vague good impression, but I don't know her. And so it'll be neat. So yay. It's very cool stuff. AJ says, I'll wait to be transported. The technology we have today, it's so cool. We can be transported without ever leaving our rooms or wherever, if you're watching on a device, wherever the fuck you happen to be. Maybe you're in your car. I don't know. Maybe you're traveling and you'll be transported while traveling. That would be... Anyway, I digress. The point is, noodles, pasta, both fucking cool, not the same thing. What is pasta? Well, it's multiple things. It's noodles, it's sauce, it's the way it's served, it's the way it's the whole thing. It is the category of all the properties. No single one of them is definitive or exclusive of all the others. And this, my good friends, as much as I love food, as much as I love learning about history, was never an episode about pasta. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll see you over at Kelly's in a few minutes. Mwah. And tune in tomorrow for more fun facts from history and things. I think we're doing cities, possibly. We'll find out together. Toodles. Thanks to all our patrons and top-level members for January. Miranda, Karen Butcher, Jessica the Transmetal Alchemist, Robin Webster, Maya Adkison, Jimmy Tux, Ian Chen, Lilith, Ember Lynn, The Barely Bearable Atheist, Eric Wander, Jason Jacoby, Lil of All Trades, Deviant Outcast, Secular Feelinist, Kelly King, the Detroit Atheist Queen, Geo Sam, Thriver Scapegoat, The Godless Engineer, Why Because Weed Bro, and Katie Bluebird. And you can add your name here next month by signing up at patreon.com/betterthanember or by joining Emberships here on YouTube at the Cinder level, which also includes all the custom emojis, tons of member-exclusive content, member-only live streams, and a bunch of other stuff. I deeply appreciate all the supporters who keep this channel going. Thank you so much. Because of you, we're building a wonderful community that I'm very proud of.
Just like a spark that's